It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and I'm quite excited for today's beer because it brings back a brewing company that I was very much aware of and enjoyed over the last kind of 10 years of drinking beer, and that's Wild Beer Company. Remember those guys? In the supermarket you had your millionaire, your billionaire stouts. They were really good, well received beers. Unfortunately, a few years ago, a couple of years ago now, they had some trouble and they kind of like had some financial trouble and they had to be bought out. They went into administration and they were bought out by a company, and that company is Curious Brewery, which also makes some really good beers. So this is like an old friend really, coming back to say hello. Wild Beer Company, Under the Sun, Session, Hazy IPA, 4.7% ABV in a 440 milliliter can, described as juicy and smooth. It's available in Sainsbury's. It cost me in the region of £3. Without further ado, let's get this can out into a glass and see what we get. They weren't the last though. They were probably one of the first. I remember the shock when Wild Beer Company went into administration. It definitely sent shockwaves through our lovely industry. But they weren't the last. They weren't the last. We've had some awful kind of news with breweries having trouble. Black Sheep, Brick Brewery, Purity Brewing Company, all of those companies were bought out by an equity company, specialist if you like, and they put all of the three breweries, Brick Brewery and Purity Brewing, and now moved up to Black Sheep, who also had trouble financially, and they're all brewing from that one brewery now. But you know, if you told me 4 years ago that, you know, at the height really of the craft beer boom, that in the next 4 years we'd see Wild Beer Company have problems, and Black Sheep and Purity and Brick, North Brewing Company, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. 2-finger white head on this one, amber in colour. It's can conditioned. You can see the sediment in the bottom of the can. It's really quite impressive. I do like a conditioned beer, a beer with a little bit of sediment in it. Wow, look at that. It's got quite a lot of sediment in it. Look at that. Look at that sediment. Can conditioned beer. Don't be put off by that. Don't be afraid to see that in your glass, because it just means, for me, it's full of vitamin D, vitamin B. There's lots of flavour in the beer. There's lots of goodness and nutrition in the beer. It's not going to harm you. Let's get the aroma. It smells really good. It's got a lovely aroma. Tangerine, grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange. This smells like an American pale ale from the past. Something like a Sierra Nevada pale ale or something along those lines. It smells great. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Whoa. It's interesting. Oh. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on. Ooh, do I like it? Oh, right, I think this is going to take some unpicking. I think this is going to take a few tastes to work out exactly what's going on with this beer. I think the first thing we should do, the beer has suggested that there's a lot of sediment in here, so yeah, there is a lot of sediment here. Maybe I've had the end of the run when it comes to filling the beer. Maybe the can was one of the last cans on the run, and you can see all of that sediment. Maybe your can may not look like my can. That's the craft beer world we live in though, isn't it? That's where we are. We drink craft beer because it's more kind of hand produced than, say, a big beer company like Foster's, Carling, Moretti, that sort of thing. Molson Coors, InBev. You know, you wouldn't see that with their beers. But it's the reason why we love and kind of drink craft beer is that kind of like more of a hands-on approach to brewing beer. And sometimes this is the result. It's really orangey. It's really kind of like, unfortunately, it's a bit soapy. It's got that feeling of you've just accidentally slipped a bar of soap in your mouth. You know, you're like that's the best way I can describe it. As I've never described a beer in my life before as being soapy, but it's just got that kind of like, almost kind of like soapy, unfortunate taste about it. I really wanted this beer to be good. I think you can probably tell that I really wanted this beer to be good because I wanted to see the magnificent return of Wild Beer Company. Perhaps my can is just the end of the run. It's sucked up all the sediment from the fermenter and it's ended up in my can. Perhaps it's just a really unfortunate thing that's happened here. But maybe not. Comment in the comments box. Is your can, if you bought a can of Under the Sun Session Hazy IPA, what does it look like? Let me know in the comments box. A beautiful combination of modern aromatic tropical hop flavours, saturating a smooth bodied base, hop aromas of sweet ripe tropical fruits with a hint of vanilla. They're now made in Kent. So they went from being made in Bristol, Wild Beer Company, to now all the way down in Kent. I kind of get the vanilla a little bit. I get the vanilla. That's that kind of slightly soapy taste I'm getting mixed with that tropical fruit. It's not for me. It's unfortunate. I built this beer up. I really wanted it to work. It's not for me. It's just not right. It's just a bit soapy, to be honest. That's the only real way I can describe this beer. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.